Research confirms that top performers at a work produce 3 times as much as other workers and benefit a business in other ways. Are you one? Learn from these 10 signs of high performers at work and in life because they also tend to be the happiest. I think you'll be surprised by the number 10, so stick around for that one. Okay, counting from 1 to 10. Sign number 1, gives excellent effort regardless. When I say regardless, I mean that they give their best to what they control and leave the rest. High performers give their best because it's who they are and what they do. There's no alternative motive other than learning to give their best and let go of the rest. Yes, they might also give their best to get ahead in the company, to get extra compensation, but the best of the best do it because that's who they are. And as a result, they are trusted with additional responsibility. Sign number 2, technically competent. There's no getting around technical competence regardless of the job. You have to know what you're doing to perform at high levels. They become the ones that others go to for answers that few others have. This is because in giving their best effort, they are also focused on learning the ins and outs of their job so that they can give their best effort to the job. That brings us to the next sign of a high performer. Sign number 3, learner. They're always learning. Yes, they're the nerds who took the manual home to figure out the new billable system, or they might be the ones who read books on the commute. However, high performers have a voracious appetite for learning and growth. They're driven by the delight of mastery. That feeling you get when you know a job, a skill, a business process so well that you have become the go-to expert. Sign number 4, coolest head in the room. If you saw the movie Apollo 13, you know how valuable the people who stay focused on solving the problem at hand rather than losing their shit over things they don't control. No wonder high performers speak up to the right people when there's a problem. They don't stew over what others might think, but keep it simple and find out why there's a problem. Keeping it simple is what keeps the high-performing people level-headed in the heat of the battle. Sign number 5, can-do attitude. Yes, they're positive, but in the sense of believing that they can solve problems rather than get mired in excuses. You might hear them say, failure is not an option, because in many cases it isn't. So like number 4, they keep a cool head and stay focused on solving the problem. And they believe that they can solve the problem, a belief that often turns out to be true. Sign number 6, takes initiative for improvement. An outgrowth of their drive to learn and excel is the fact that they are always looking for ways to improve a process or save money. Sometimes they take a little heat for their initiative to improve how work is done, but in the end, they're valued for seeking improvements. And speaking of improvements, sign number 7, adapt to change. It's easier to adapt to change when you are the one leading it, but if not, high performers see the writing on the wall and find ways to make change stick. Every company, be it for-profit or non-profit, must find ways to change to take advantage of new technologies and innovations. High performers understand that they live in a world that requires change and find ways to make it happen. That brings us to the next sign. Sign number 8, collaborates well with others. I was being mentored by a high-performing employee when I joined a new company. After struggling to get along with some team members, I asked him for some advice. He said, "I try to get along with everyone because that's how work gets done, through collaboration." I tried and succeeded with most, but not so much with others. But his advice was sound. No, you can't get along with everyone, but when your goal is to find a way to work with everyone, you often succeed. That brings us to the next sign. Sign number 9 takes responsibility. High performers are comfortable taking responsibility for outcomes, their own behavior, and their role in problems. How refreshing. Because they take ownership, it's easier to solve problems in a way that they stay fixed. Okay, so that brings us to the final sign. Sign number 10, manages boundaries. I found out early on in my career that being an excellent employee brought me a negative, unexpected consequence, and that was a lot of extra work. Hey, I took initiative, was a voracious learner, had a great attitude, and found a way to get things done, but unfortunately, that attracted more work than I could do. It was insane. While I took on 2 to 3 times the work of others, I got the same rewards. Nope, no more. I got better at boundaries. When I asked to take on more than a normal workload, I wouldn't agree until the manager laid out what others were doing. Why not them? And what was in it for me? I started saying no and got the surprise of being respected and was able to renegotiate my role on other projects. Sure, I felt stupid for being so eager to say yes before, but now with more wisdom, I was negotiating boundaries to my time and was able to stay at a high performance level. And so will you. Are you a high performer? This video has revealed 10 signs that you are. What's holding you back? It's fun to know your job well, do it better than most, and enjoy the respect of your peers and management. Thanks for joining us today at the Change Capability Institute, where we equip you to create your best life.